to do is to say, "By Sigma!" Everything has to end with "by Sigma." If you go to my website, timbentinck.com, spell it right, INCK, you will see, and you make a donation to the brain cancer charity, and send me an email, and I'll do a thing for you. And I'll say almost anything you like, as long as it's not abusive or infringement of copyright. I think that's probably fair enough, isn't it? I have to be very careful with this. As I repeat, I don't make any money out of it. So, but yeah, I mean, you've all got your favourite ones, and maybe in the question and answer that for all of us, you'd like to get us to quote something that is your favourite thing.
Sure, I think almost anything is a good line to take.
I was gonna say, I don't think they're picky. Someone starts voice acting and they're just like, "Oh my god!"
And so next, Dan, do you want to what's your most memorable voice line from Vermintide? Do you think?
Me? I like I wish you were an ale. I like that. I wish you were an ale. That was a fun one. And what's the with the bloody Uber's right 5, 4. Doesn't matter. I like that one. But yeah, like, as Tim says, if anybody has anything they particularly want me to, I've got bloody. There you go. Seriously, someone's going to knock on the door in a minute. But,
Dan, people
anything
writing frogs. What
was frogs?
So really big frogs.
Oh, really big frogs. Really big frogs.
Holy Sigma, that's the rapid water. There you go. The sadistic Sam.
All right, Alex?
I can't think of any favorite ones off the top of my head, but the general ones that I like to put, like as in a specific phrase, but the ones I really like to perform is when she's just incredibly rude and disdainful to the others, because I find it quite funny that I get paid to be rude, basically. And not only that, but Tim was talking about the videos that he does, and I'm on Cameo. And when people go to Cameo and they book me to be Carillion and to perhaps do a birthday message or a congratulations message for someone, it never ceases to amaze me quite how rude people want me to be to their friends, their partners, their lovers. They're like, call him, and they're like, yeah, so basically you just call him a lumberfoot, tell him he's like really stupid and all this kind of stuff. And oh my God, you were so silly for this. And so I'm like, Lumberfoots, apparently it's your birthday today. Well, happy birthday to you. Cheers. Like very angry and aggressive. I just think it's hilarious that people pay me to be rude, basically. That kind of makes me laugh.
And Bethan.
Oh gosh, I can't remember the specific lines. I loved it when she talks to her little flame like it's a little familiar, or I can imagine little kitten on my shoulder. And, oh fuck! I can't do it now.
It's okay. It's okay.
It started.
This game is rated M. It's fine.
Oh yeah, and the darlings. Oh come on, darlings! You know, just sort of like calling everybody. Come on! I always feel it's at the head of them all.
You made chat very happy about that. All right, we'll take a couple questions from the chat. Let's see.
Oh, can I just have a shout out to my brother, by the way, who's watching? There's my brother Toby who's watching. He's sharing his joy. Saves me a phone call. That's good.
Kelpie Kane says, "Thank you very much for this masterpiece of a game. What is your favorite fan interaction memory?"
All of them. I always find the fans are so nice, to be honest. In not just for this game, but for all video games that I do. I touch wood and hope it always stays that way. And it might not always stay that way, but generally speaking, the fans of your work in video games are so lovely, so supportive, so hugely kind of complimentary. They're just fantastic for my ego, especially on a bad day. You know, I'm sitting here reading all the comments from you guys. But they're lovely, and they're also hilarious. They have a great sense of humor, you know, like, for example, you know, hiring you on Cameo to insult their best friend after they've, you know, gotten a first in their BA or something like that. So just, it's like, oh, you did something really great. Well, I'm gonna get someone to insult you. It's, I don't know, it just, you guys, they make me laugh. They make me laugh, and they're always lovely.
I have to say, my absolute favorite one was somebody who wrote to me and said that their best friend was having serious depression and mental, not mental problems, but he was really, really depressed and down and low, and that he played Vermintide, and that Victor is his favorite character, and he'd actually got a poster of Victor in front of him. So there's his computer screen, and there was the picture of Victor, and his name was let's say Michael. And so I recorded a thing that went, Michael, look up. Yes, it's me, Victor. You don't know this, but I have been watching you play Vermintide for 3 years. And she wrote back to me, she said, you scared them. Anyway, I went on to say, which is what she'd written for me, because I sort of made that up. And she said, and I said, you have good friends all around you who are supportive, and, you know, basically bigging him up and making him feel better. And she wrote back this sweet thing. She said, you completely, really, really helped this guy, my mate, he's my best mate. And you did something, you know, that was really important, and he lifted him out of his depression. And you go, oh, thank God we can do something vaguely important, you know, rather than just being what we usually are, is actors at the end of the food chain, just sort of doing things that to actually feel like you made a difference to somebody's life. That's nice, you know. That was that was really, really good feedback, and lovely to do. So yeah, and yeah, you're right, absolutely, I agree with you. The fans are, you know, they're just lovely. They're, because they love the game, and they love the characters, and so it's a real privilege to be able to be part of it.
Voodoo Chopstick says, can we hear Carillion talking about what she had for lunch?
Well, Lumberfoots, if you really want to know, I haven't had any lunch yet today. In fact, I barely had my breakfast. So while you're all sitting there feeling nice and cozy and comfortable because you've had an so delicious lunch, spare a thought for poor me, all right? I'm on a different continent. I've had to set up lots of technology just so I could be here today to tell you all to hurry up, Lumberfoots! Get your act together. Oh, me flies, you won't be to the death of me.
You've converted some people who are like, I don't play elf, but I'm playing elf now. Stew Potato says, the Vermintide characters have a special chemistry together. Have any of you experienced a similar chemistry while voicing other characters?
No, I certainly haven't myself. Yeah, this game really is quite unique in that way, for me anyway.
Yeah, I mean, as we say, we've never met each other before, apart from just maybe passing in the corridor. We never acted with each other, and so you're just responding to what you're getting in the cans, and sometimes you're the first person to record it, so you don't hear anything. So the way that it's written, that goes down to Matt.
That's Matt. Yeah.
It's down to the way that it's written that will happen, and the way that it's edited as well. You know, so that we just provide the voice.
And having done it for so long as well, you sort of get to really, really know the character.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's
as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it sort of has real meaning for you.
And I remember right at the beginning that there was this note. Whenever I said Kruber, I had to always say it the same, Kruber! As though, you know, he was the most idiot, the biggest idiot in the world. Kruber!
Yes, sir.
So that sort of remained in it all the way through, in terms of the relationship.
Kettlehat asks, would Dan do a British Bretonian accent for it?
Oh man, this is the French, right?
Yeah, this is the
Matt,
French one.
Matt, write me something quick.
Put it in the chat, Matt.
A Breton accent, was it?
Yeah. Okay. What can I say? We are the bloody Ubersreich 5. Just taken off, yeah. Yeah, that was a surprise. That just turned up one day. And he's like, okay, so I'm turning up to voice Kruber, and there's Matt looking mischievous.
Yes.
You got something different to do today. We need a French accent, but not a good one.
So it's a Python-esque one. Is that I thought in your generic...
Basically, yeah. You're straight to, yeah. Your mother smells it, yeah. Well, it was a hamster. Your father smelled of elderberries.
I haven't heard that line in a long time. Wow. Monty Python. Do you see any that are catching your eye here, Catfish?
Why does Varden talk a lot about goblins, but there are no goblins? Is that for Matt?
Good question.
That's a Matt
Well, he's a
question.
dwarf, isn't he? There's always a goblin somewhere. You're never more than about 3 feet from a goblin.
There you go.
Checking the jazz.
Especially in London.
And there was a question here from Connector as well, asking how you guys felt about singing and the singing parts, and whether you would like to do more of those.
Oh, over the mountain, is that? Yeah.
That's one of the rare occasions where it would be nice to get the information ahead of stepping into the studio. That would be kind of cool, actually,
Yeah.
guys. Small note, like send it to my agent, and I can practice before I walk in the studio.
It's all David Rintoul's fault, actually, because I'll just throw him into the fire as he's not here. Because, of course, I'll just write some things out, and he'll come in and he will just put a tune behind it cold every single time. So everything I put you through after he's been in the studio is actually David.
It's got it.
Are you just handing these poor voice actors lines like not ahead of time? You're just like, okay, go. Like,
Yeah.
Battle's like, yeah. So you have like no context at all when you go into the booth?
Nope.
No, we have
do.
Matt there explaining the context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Another question here from C. Spectre. Has your character seeped into your day-to-day life?
Oh boy, no.
That didn't sound very convincing.
Imagine Victor seeping into one's life. No, darling, ain't happened.
We're waiting to hear him on the Archers, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens sometimes when you do, with like Dan was saying, when you've had to be screaming all, for 2 hours and your voice is completely wrecked. I've had episodes of the Archers where I've had to explain, I've got a bit of a cold. David Archer, I've got a bit of a cold today.
I wouldn't say that she's seeped into my life, but I definitely, because I play quite a few different elves in different video games and stuff, and I play another Scottish elf in Dota Dragon's Blood on Netflix, which is an animated series, and we're on season 3 at the moment, and she's also Scottish, but she is very, very different from Carillion. And sometimes when I'm doing the sessions quite close back to back, I really have to work to kind of pull them apart and remember that Salamene in Dota Dragon's Blood is the goddess of the moon, and everything is very cold and ethereal and tight and angry and things like that, which is very different to kind of Carillion's headstrong, forward-moving, blustering ways, basically. So I definitely have to work to like separate stuff. Yeah.
All right, I think we have time for like one or two more.
I just saw someone ask if any of us had played it. And I just wanted to say, I've played it a few times. It's so hard.
Yeah.
But I played it once with headphones on and the thing. And I thought, oh, this will be fun. I'll play it as Kruber today. So I started doing the voice in the chat while playing. No one noticed. It'll be me again. But this will be a bit of fun.
I know.
You should do what a couple of our Darktide actors do and roam the random lobbies and then just drop in and start talking to the, not to as if they're in the game, but talk to the other people in the chat and giving them orders and instructions.
They get really
That's quite a good
confused.
response. You should give it a go.
I'll give it a go. I might try again. I might dive in there again.
There's an American voice actor, who does an impression of Victor Salzbar, and he's put it up on YouTube. And he's got more hits on his impression than I've got on mine. And I was thinking I actually might do a video of going through it with him, because there are subtleties about the British accent that Americans get wrong. Sometimes, I mean, sometimes there are some American actors who can absolutely nail it. Who's it who played Margaret Thatcher?
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep. I mean, case in point. But I would love to go through it and get him to say, look, it's really, because he's really good. I mean, he's really good. But there's just a few little, that we can hear. It's the same with Americans. If I was to do an American accent, you would take me up on it and say it's wrong. In all kinds of ways. And we do the same thing with you. You can hear those little subtleties that give it away. That that's not English. That's not. But it would be fun to go through it with him, because it's pretty damn close.
So Chad has gotten very excited about the cat spotting we just had. So I guess you'd ask, I guess this kind of happened with some of the Loners Chronicles, but would Sienna have a cat? Given the chance.
Absolutely.
No questions, absolutely.
Quite singed fur.
Shall I show you? Can I show you the beautiful picture that?
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to get it.
What was cat spotting? I missed that. Sorry.
Bethan picked up one of her cats, I think, and
I see.
he was getting pet. And whenever there's a cat on stream, it's it's like a bonus, an extra bonus.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
really like cats.
Well, I was just going to say, Matt, wouldn't it be a good thing to be have a cat in Vermintide? Wouldn't that save us like a lot of work?
Oh, hello! Wow.
It was Moth who painted this. After I did this Q&A last time, I got sent it. Isn't that wonderful? Sienna killing.
Wow.
But also, those are my pussycats. So, Alfie and then Florence has just left.
So
I think the cats would quite like her, because she'd be like warm and heated.
Absolutely, yeah. But one of them's just been asleep on the top of my Mac Mini, because that's the warm place. That's for sure.
All right, let's do one more question. What do you want to ask them, chat?
Cat names. Bethan, what are the names of your cats? People want to know.
Alfie and Florence.
Alfie and Florence.
They're both startled now, actually. I know somebody wanted me to pick him up again, but he's disappeared.
All right, here's an interesting one, and I guess we will close this out for all of you. Changing the question a little bit so it applies to everyone. So I have no idea how to pronounce this username, so I'm going to try my best. Frasquide23 says, could you voice each other's characters, or rather, if you voiced each other's characters, how would you go about it?
Crowbar.
Suddenly everyone piled on.
We're all piling on for Saltspire, aren't we?
No.
Fun to do.
My Scottish accent's rubbish, so I'd have to leave the elf alone.
Well, I suppose that it'd be having a go at one eye, wouldn't I? That's what he told me all the time, one eye.
Oh, Doris.
Angry.
Doris.
Yeah, it was generic, probably, but I wouldn't be able to approach the subtlety with which Kruger.
What Helgi? What Helgi?
Yeah, what's Helgi? darlings. No, that's Salt Spire doing this together.
Some dreadful hybrid.
No, that's
Child
you
of Salt
sound
Spire at the end.
like a gin-soaked old alky in the pub. I don't know, do you listen to the Archers? Because you sound like what's it, Sonny Ormond's character, darling, sort of that wonderful.
Is that Lillian?
Lillian, yeah,
Lillian.
yeah, it's slightly Lillian-esque.
I think Matthew should do our characters because you write them. I think
Yeah.
you
Oh,
should
no.
do our characters.
Yeah.
Yes, come
For the
on.
5th
what
anniversary,
everyone
do
wants.
it, Matt.
No, I'm not doing it. But what I will say is that I'm not sure Salt Spire is actually so much of a character as it is a virus at this point. Because what happens is that when we don't have the lines for all the characters to play in studio, then basically the director, either myself or Mark Esther, will read the lines in, and no matter where we try to be, and by the time we get to the end of the day, everything sounds like Salt Spire. It doesn't matter which character it is; it's always this slightly straight. I think I said last time we were in is I do a dreadful impression of Tim as Salt Spire. I do a passable one of Mark doing an impression of Tim as Salt Spire, and you're never going to hear it on Twitch. So.
Brilliant.
All right. Is there anything you want our fans to know before we head off?
Just we love you guys.
We love
We
you
love you
all.
very, very much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Respect
Thank you for sticking with us.
and love for all of you.
From
Nice
the
to
Uber's
be
right,
here on the
bloody
fifth.
fine.
No, sorry, man, I cut you off. Dan, do that again. I cut you off.
Sending love from the Uber's right, bloody fine.
Yay! All right. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I hope we have another 5 more years of Vermintide.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
And seeing where the adventures of the Blue Strike 5 go. Thank you so much for being here. So, chat,
Thank
we
you
will
for
be
having us.
Thank you for watching us.
Yeah.
It's been
Lovely.
great. It's been really nice to meet after all these years.
Yes.
So many fans virtually, and I'm reading all your comments and the love, and that's why I keep looking down here. And Sienna, you're definitely the favorite, just so you know, Beth, and that is overriding message that's coming through, and rightly so.
All right, so chat, we will be back with some gameplay. We're going to get these guys sorted, and we will be back in 5 minutes.